Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Skip, aka Skip and Tosh here, back again. Appreciate you joining me for another video. A few days ago, I got my copy of Ice Cream Man Sunday Edition Volume 1 early. I like how it says Volume 1. That implies that we're going to get another one. And I just gave you a really quick unboxing. And since it is coming out now, officially tomorrow, it took me a few days to get this going. I wanted to give you a little bit more of an overview. This is not going to be a super extensive overview because what I've noticed in a lot of overviews is things end up getting a little too spoiled, and I don't quite want to take it there. But what I would like to do is I'd like to again show you the back, the spine, some of the details on the front. I'd like to show you a little bit of the extras in the back, and I would also like to show you some of the things that came with my bundle, so that way you kind of know what to expect and also see some of the extras that some of us were able to get, and that you also may be able to get if you go to quarantinecomics.com, which is W. Maxwell Prince's and Martin Morazzo, I suppose they share it, their online store, and they have merch there. And some online comics that you can get if you never purchased the Quarantine Comics edition of Ice Cream Man during the pandemic when they were putting those out. Alright, so you see the front cover here. Something I want to point out, and I kind of did go over a little bit. I forget what you call this type of cover where it's got like an extra section glossy part, but most of us who have been in the comic world for a little while, we've seen this before. So it's got that. I guess this would kind of be embossed. Is that what we call this? Let me know what this is officially called in the chat, because your boy Skip lacks the terms sometimes. But anyway, feels really nice and smooth and good. Extra a little icing on the top, if you will, for a standard priced oversized hardcover deluxe edition. Of course, you see the names along the top. Chris O'Halloran, who does the coloring. Let's go ahead and go over to the spine, which I'm going to get horizontal with it because that is how it's laid out for the most part anyway. So Image Comics, publisher. I always love the color palettes that they use within the book. Chris O'Halloran does a heck of a job with that. Of course, you get your very own cone. Can't leave that out. And then on the back, forget our buddy's name. This is the guy from issue number 6. Issue number 6 is one of my favorite issues. It is the mostly silent issue. And if I remember correctly, it is called Strange Neapolitan. Yes. Because his life was split into 3 different flavors. And hey, you get a crusty old little rodent looking bird there, and then of course Ricardus gives you the classic arachnid there. Alright, let's flip the book open and see. I did get my copy as a special bundle directly from W. Maxwell Prince and the Quarantine Comics store, so I was fortunate enough to get the signature there. Something I want to say about the paper, you notice it's not glossy. It is a little bit more of a matte paper, but it kind of splits the difference. It feels glossy, but it looks matte, and it feels a little matte, but it's a very good quality. I like it because this type of paper does not take like the oils from your hands as easily as others do, so you won't get as many of like those fingerprint smudges in there. We did not get quite a layout like this in any of the trade paperbacks from what I remember, but I did mostly read the singles, but I do have all the trade paperbacks because this is my favorite. Jeez, this is my favorite comic book series, not ever, but it's definitely my favorite ongoing series that's come out in the last 5 years. So you get your layout. This is issue 1 through 12, so you get all of those laid out. I did not realize that this was a 4-part series. I thought originally the Hopscotch Malane, that's what I'll call it, was a 2-part series, but you still do get the names that the issues were given on the inside of the singles. TV story, definitely one of my favorite. I think a lot of y'all will enjoy that and get a lot of the references from it if you have not already read this series, which I hope this video will get you interested in. And I always forget the name of this. My buddy Justin Greenwood, who is a comics professional, told me what this is, but I always forget, so I need to look back through. I feel like I should know that. A very nice quote here, which I read already in the unboxing, so I'll leave that there. And then some quotes from the creative team, from W. Maxwell Prince, from Martine Morazzo, and from Chris O'Halloran. Notice an omission from no quote from Good Old Neon. As I've told y'all before, I believe Good Old Neon is W. Maxwell Prince's moniker, and I believe W. Maxwell Prince letters all of these. And I'm going to get some verification from that, because I think he confirmed that in the panel-to-panel magazine that Aditya Bidikar and I think it's, dang it, I always forget his first name, but Atsmain Alahau, who is another very popular letterer. And this is what you get for a lot of for the covers. So you get you get an updated, or let's say custom version of the cover, minus how exactly it looked on issue number 1. I noticed even the coloring's a little different. I believe, and we'll go back over this, but I believe this is closer to the color scheme that was done before Chris O'Halloran did the colors. Someone else did the coloring for issue number 1. That was not Chris O'Halloran, and oddly enough, I really like how much more muted and pastel issue number 1's colors were. And you know what? Why don't I just grab that for you? Give me one sec. Here we go. So you can see a slight difference in the coloring. It's pretty similar, but on here the saturation is up just a little bit more, and it could not be it wasn't necessarily the file that went to print, the proof that went to print. It's probably just, you know, a different printer, or just running the print you know, a different time around kind of gives you a slight variance in the colors. But I would say look kind of farther back, you can see the saturation is up a little bit more here, and it's a little more desaturated. You can even see it in the cone. It's a little more orangish here. It tends to skew a little lighter, a little more on the tan side here. So just basically less orange in here. But anyway, something that I noticed that I wanted to point out. So for anybody who's familiar with the floppies, you know, kind of expect that. Again, trying not to spoil this too much for everyone, because let's see, there we go. This is just the first page of this one. So again, you know, you just get it without the main logo or masthead, whatever you'd like to call it. But you know, the pages get a little more glossy when we get more colors, but again, like, it's not super glossy. So you can see it's tough on blacks, because anytime you have blacks, they're always gonna show a little bit more. But I really like the paper choice that they did for these. So I'm gonna skip a bulk of the story, so excuse me for a moment as we kind of jump ahead to more of the extras in the back. So here's another goodie that I got. I got a bookmark that came with the bundle that I got. And of course you get Ricardus there, who's on the front, our ice cream man, and then you get a buddy on the back who I really forget his name. I could just flip to issue 6, couldn't I, and find that out? Will I? No, I'm gonna leave that for you to find out. Another thing that we got here with this edition is a nice enamel pin, which I'm very excited to leave in the package and not put on anything that I could forget or could be lost. All right. So we do get a series of the covers and variant covers, mainly variant covers from the multitude of different people here on the list. We got a Tula Lotte cover, so you know that excites me. This is a cover. This is cover B for issue number 1 that I still need to collect. I do have this one. Another thing that's really fun, and I should have pointed this out on the first one, is always looking for Martin Morazzo's signature on the covers. So this is an M and M, so M's stuck together. So anytime you get an Ice Cream Man cover, when you're looking at the covers, I always try to find where Martin Morazzo's signature is on the covers that he does. Actually, on this one, okay, there we go. I was about to say I've never found it, just found it right there. On issue number 1, we can take a look at it. And if you didn't already identify it, I'm going to just get right to it. But I'm going to let you try to find the rest on your own, because it's always something really fun to do whenever new issues come out. If you get the cover A that Martin does, Mike Shea had done that one that was on the other page. Lynn Scarfield for issue 4, variant for issue 5, another Fraser Irving who did that number 1B that I want to get. Christian Ward cover for issue number 6, which has our buddy on it. This is his issue. That's Rick. Fabian Moon, I believe that's issue number, that is one for issue number 5, I believe. Issue 7, Comics Code Authority. I have this one. I have the uncensored one. I need to get a copy of. I'd like to get a copy of the censored one. Old Rick in a dress, showing a little ankle. Could be indecent. The Vanessa Del Rey, who she went on to be the artist of issue 1 of Haha, also by W. Maxwell Prints. Check that out. Kyle Smart cover. I've actually got 2 of these, so one of these I'll be selling. If you're looking to get one, feel free to message me in the comments and we can chat about it. Juan Ferreira, Babs Tarr, friend of a friend. I need to get that cover. Another thing is a nice little book plate. Now, here's the thing. I believe these were supposed to be signed, and mine's is not. I think Martin was supposed to sign some of these, but I think it was an idea that happened, and then in practice they realized the time that it would take for Martin to get it printed out, because he lives in Buenos Aires, so to get them printed out, him signed them, and then ship them to the U.S., they would have missed the window for when they were trying to do this campaign. Tula Lotte. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Volume 1 hardcover, which I do have this as well. I believe I showed that to y'all before in a video. And if not, remind me, and I'll be happy to show it to you. Some of the process, sketches for different characters and such, and different issues and whatnot. Different versions of the covers that they went through before they nailed it down. I believe this is the strange Neapolitan cover right there. Hey, look, it's Jeremy. I believe that's our, yeah, and Triptych. Yeah, so it's Jeremy. Jeremy is him. So tons of different ones. Surprise, surprise, if you wonder, like, that guy's name is Will. And I've seen a picture of W. Maxwell Prints, and kind of looks like that guy. Yeah, it gets meta. And Prince is in a number of issues. He's in even a few more later on in the series, which I hope y'all love this issue enough, or love this hardcover enough, if you haven't read it, to continue on to. We got some samples, Raspberry Surprise, script samples. I really like how Prince lays out his stuff. We actually use the very same application to do our scripts, and it's a more aesthetically pleasing look when you have to look at scripts, because scripts are usually ugly. They're just black font, you know, spaced out. The fonts are usually pretty ugly, but when you use the application that we use, it's really easy to make them look a lot prettier. Like in Strange Neapolitan, how he gets, you know, a little specific and kind of even talks about some of the layouts that he wants Martin to do with the panels. So it's cool to see all of this stuff, because this is a very crafty comic. It's easily the most crafty comic book on the stands, and possibly the most crafty comic you've ever read. Oh yeah, so this is also the issue, I believe this is, yep, chapter 10, Border Story. a fair amount of it is in Spanish. So this is the English pre-translation version of the script. It's pretty funny in that issue. If you won't get it in here, but if you have the singles and maybe the trade paperback, I'll double check. Prince is like, oh, if you have issues with translating, email me at WMaxwellPrint. Needless to say, I emailed him and he didn't email me back. I'm going to hold that against you, Prince. And I'm going to put your feet to the fire when I see you, buddy. All in tasty fun. And then another peek inside to something which I haven't gone over all of this yet myself. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about a little bit. So early cover colors by Matt Lopes, which Matt Lopes, I've read some of his comics that he's colored before, but you can see the difference a lot more in this one. So I am really going to say that the variance between the earlier version of cover A that we get in the book and the floppy that I just showed you is mostly probably some print differences. There you go, lines, no colors, all of the different patterns that were used inside of the book, and then Prince talking about Prince things. December 2021, I need to read that. Boom, 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 Black Owl. There you go. Again, this is a deluxe oversized hardcover. So compared to a trade paperback, which is standard size, you get about this much more comic, or at least I should say dimensions. This is Ice Cream Man Volume 1. This was the Dr. Seuss version that they did. Yeah, so inside of the trade, Raspberry Surprise is what you get in there. And you actually don't get the, yeah, no, you don't get the, okay. You don't get the thing that I thought you get, which, that's fine too. Okay, cool. Anyhow, if there was anything else that you wanted to see, let me know. If you want to see what it looks like on the shelf, I guess I could do that too, but I'll just be putting it next to all the other Ice Cream Man stuff. Hang tight, I can do that for you. One sec. And with my magical editing powers, I am back. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hopefully this gives you an idea of the quality of book and some of the features that you expect to get should you order this and receive it, or go purchase it from your LCS, your local comic shop. The bundle portions were really nice, especially for super fans of the book like myself. Makes it that much sweeter. Again, this is your boy Skip, aka Skip and Tosh. Check me out. I'll be uploading more comic book content soon. I'll definitely have more Ice Cream Man stuff for all of those who are interested in Ice Cream Man. I'm going to go over some different lore of the Ice Cream Man book, because I don't see a lot of videos about that. And there is quite a bit of lore in the 31 or 32 issues that we've gotten so far. So I'm going to do some videos about that, but I'm also going to do some videos about other comics and other comic creators that I really enjoy. So stay tuned for that. It may be a slow drip, but it will drip. Another ice cream reference because I can't stop myself. Be sweet to each other. Later.